Hey everybody, this is Highlander58 on the AT, and I'm now at the spring getting some fresh water. I made it to Calf Mountain Shelter. It's unofficially not in the Shenandoah National Park, but it's on the border. I got my permit and only hiked about 8 miles today. It was muddy and it's overcast, but it did not rain. Permit's free. There's a self-sign-in kiosk right there at the trailhead. Fill it out, put the carbons in the box, and keep the hard copy on your pack or thereabouts, and be prepared to produce it on demand. I'm not sleeping in the shelter. I pitched my tent as I normally do. It's kind of muddy, but they have some designated camp spots there, and they're okay. They're a little small, hard to put tent stakes in, very rocky, but I managed. And I'm going to get up early tomorrow and try to make it to the next shelter. It's 14 miles away. And again, tent camp. But it's very muddy and very wet out here today. Weather's supposed to be improving, and I'm glad. I'm really looking for some sunshine. I have some news I want to share with all you folks back home. Nomads off the trail. We had a talk last night in our luxurious digs in Waynesboro, and he decided that he was going to get off the trail for about a week, at least 4 or 5 days. His father's driving down from just outside of Philly to pick him up, take him back to their home, his parents' home. He's going to rest, going to check in with his doctor. His tendonitis is fine. It's pretty much gone, but he really banged his knee good, and it's quite swollen, and he's concerned about damage. I think he just needs to keep ice on it, get a brace, and get back out here, and that's what he wants to do. So it's going to take me about 6 days, 5 or 6 days to get through the Smokies, I imagine. It's 105 miles. I'm not in a hurry. There's plenty to see, plenty to do, plenty of waysides to hang out in and eat hamburgers and milkshakes. So we're going to hook back up somewhere closer to Harper's Ferry. And I was sad to see him go, but he had to do what he had to do. This is just a hike. And if you're hurt, you need to get off and take care of it, and then get back on if you can. That's, you do what you have to do, and you hike your hike. So this is the first time I've hiked alone in quite a while. So, it's interesting. And I just ran into Minion and Mercury, and they were the two hikers who helped me get down out of that shelter when I got sick. And they got off the trail for a while to go to his daughter's graduation, and they're back, and they just happened to be here at the shelter, so it was nice to see them. I don't remember everything about that journey off the mountain that day, but I do remember them and some of the things we talked about. So it was nice to see them, and they're going to be going to the same location as I am tomorrow. I just wish it would dry up. I really want to enjoy the Shenandoahs. I keep saying Smokies, but if I have said that, I meant Shenandoahs. I want to enjoy this park, but this mud is just terrible. Heading back to camp, I'm going to get in my tent. I'm going to make a meal, and then I'm going to lay down, rest, and think about the adventure ahead. So I'll check back with you later. Have a good day. Well, good morning, everyone. This is Highlander58 on the AT. It's Sunday, May 22nd, and I just left the Calf Mountain Shelter. Had quite a number of hikers in there last night. I'm guessing around 14. A couple of people I know were there. It rained pretty much all night. I stayed dry in my tent, woke up to a very muddy tent pad, as they call them up here. Packed everything up wet and hit the trail at 7:30. Wanted to get out early because I plan on doing 18 to 20 miles today to get to the, I think it's Loft Mountain Wayside and the Loft Mountain Campground. 16 bucks to tent camp there. They have showers. It's a nice campground. It's worth the extra miles. It gets me out of that bubble of about 14 hikers. I'd rather just hike alone today. Got a text from Nomad last night. He's home. He's resting, and I told him to get his skinny ass healed up and get back out here on the trail. So I think he'll be back. I hope so. I hope that the doctor visit doesn't show anything serious on his knee. I think it's just a bad bruise. So got my rain gear on just in case. Got my pack cover on. And I'm officially in the Shenandoah National Park now. There's all kinds of signs tell you what you can and can't do. You can't even pick flowers here. They're protected. So it's not raining right now, other than what I call tree rain. And when the wind blows, all the water on the leaves rains on you. So it's like raining, but it's not raining. I guess for some reason in my mind I expected some magical difference when I entered into the Shenandoah National Park. Along Skyline Drive, there'd be you know, a whole different world. It pretty much looks the same, other than you cross the Skyline Drive all through this 105 miles, and there's waysides, which basically mean you can get something to eat, use the bathroom, and there's some really nice campgrounds along the way. So far, I'm really enjoying the park. It's green. It's the green corridor of Virginia. It's hard to see the mountains now because the leaves are all blossoming. Flowers are starting to come out. And I can see buds on the wild berry vines and bushes, so that's a good thing, I guess. As the day progresses, I will let all of you fine people know what's going on. And if I hear anything from Nomad, I'll certainly update it on the video, or I'll leave a comment in the on YouTube. I actually have pretty good service here. I was told that the further north I went, the better service I would have with AT&T. And I had cell service all last night. I was able to text Nomad, my family, and do a little bit of editing and watching some videos. So, okay, the trail is now a stream, and I'm gonna cut this off so I can walk without busting my ass. Hey everybody, just Highlander58 on the AT, just checking in. Just crossed the Skyline Drive. Gonna do that quite a number of times on this journey. Doing about 2.3 miles per hour right now. It's not very difficult terrain at all. And I'm just walking, so some uphill, but not too bad. There's a very popular term used on the a very popular word on the trail as it goes through the Shenandoah National Park, and that's called waysides. And a wayside is a place that's usually very close to Skyline Drive, and you can go there, and they're usually like small stores that serve hamburgers, milkshakes, snack foods, sodas, water. They usually have a bathroom, a place where you can call for a ride. And they say that's why you don't need to carry a whole lot of food through the Shenandoah Park. And I'm carrying about 4 days worth of food out of Waynesboro. And of course, every time I eat a meal, my pack gets lighter. Now, the waysides are great if you have the money and want to spend it. And if you do, then you don't need to carry as much food. I'm hoping that in my case, self-control will get the better of me, and I won't be spending a whole lot of money at the waysides. Although I am looking forward to a blackberry milkshake and a hamburger or a cheeseburger, but I'm going to try to refrain, or excuse me, I'm going to try to restrain myself from spending too much money at the waysides. Third time today, since 7:30, I've crossed Skyline Drive. And it's now 10 o'clock, so 3 times in 2.5 hours. Amazing. Civilization. What a concept. Hey everybody, Highlander58 on the AT. I just summited, I think it's called Big Rock, I guess. It's 3,000 feet, highest climb today. Yeah, it's raining. I'm 3 miles from the campground, Loft Mountain. I'm gonna try to push through. Can't see anything up here, it's all foggy. Losing my voice, I'm tired. It'll be about a 21-mile day when I'm done. But, you know, have a hot shower in a tent site, so it's worth it. Onward. Hey everybody, this is Highlander58 on the AT. As you can see, I'm in my tent. I'm quite bundled up because it's very cold right now. It's about 6:30 in the evening, and I'm at the Loft Mountain Campground. I got here about 4, and quite wet, quite tired. It's been a long day. I went over to the camp store when I got here, and it was quite cold, and I went inside and grabbed a soft drink just to get the sugar back in me, and then I had a cup of coffee, and I grabbed a sandwich, and I talked to the folks that worked in there and asked them if I could just stay inside and eat inside because I was so cold and wet, and they were certainly accommodating. They could see that I had a long day. They have a very nice store. It's very complete. They've got all kinds of camp style food, you know, small portions, soda. They even sell beer here, which I thought was weird because I didn't think you could drink alcohol in a national park, but they do sell it, and I certainly grabbed one. Got a big 24-ounce Yingling, and I grabbed another sandwich and some snacks, and I walked about a quarter mile to the campground, and there's a sign-in kiosk there. The booth was not manned. I guess they had gone home for the evening. And then this couple pulled up, elderly couple, and I guess they're volunteers. They work here. They helped me find a camp spot and fill out the paperwork. It's $15. I think I said $16 earlier. It's $15, and that includes a shower if you want to go back over to the camp store and use it. It's open all night. There's a laundry. And they have a change machine. The camp store is open until 5. And I got my camp spot. I got one very close to the entrance of the park, so I'd get out of here early if I wanted to. I set my tent up. And it started to rain again, drizzle, nothing bad. They don't have any bear canisters here, bear boxes, so the guy said, well, just throw your stuff in the shed down by the office here. And I said, nah, I don't want to walk a quarter mile. So I went and hung my bear bag, got in my tent, took my wet shoes and socks off, let my feet dry. They were blue. And I had a short meal and drank my beer and put some dry clothes on, and I got into my sleeping bag. This rain is really rough. They say it's supposed to clear up tomorrow, but they said that today, and it didn't. It rained. I was caught in the rain, and I just hiked through. I put my rain gear on, I hiked through. It was miserable, muddy. My new shoes got a good breaking in. They are just covered with mud. Tomorrow I have to be out by noon. I'm going to try to sleep in. I'm not interested in getting out of here early at all. I have no reason to. I have options tomorrow. There's a wayside about a mile, a little over a mile from here. They open at 9 and they serve breakfast. I may stop in there and get some breakfast. Then I have 2 shelters, one 7.5 miles and one about 15 miles. So I have options there, and there's a campground beyond that. So tomorrow I'm not going to be doing as long a hike, that's for sure. It's just too long. But I didn't want to stay in a shelter. They put their shelters in these dank, dark, off the trail locations that are just muddy and wet, and I just don't want to stay in a shelter or anywhere near one if I can help it. But this is part of being on the trail, and I've been in the rain now, I guess, for a couple of weeks. I'm not trying to discourage anyone, just be aware that these things can happen, and be prepared, and make sure you have dry clothes and dry socks. I'm going to say goodnight, and I will pick this back up tomorrow after I have a nice hot breakfast at the wayside, and then we'll just continue on in the Shenandoah National Park, and hopefully I'll hear from Nomad soon. I'll give you an update of how he's doing. And I have no service right now, so okay folks, I hope you're warm, I hope you're safe, I hope you're with the ones you love. I'll check back in later. Take care and good night. Good morning, everyone. This is Highlander58 on the AT. I am still at Mountain Loft Campground. Just left the store. I left off last night. Very cold, very wet. Went to sleep about 10:30. I couldn't sleep for some reason. It's probably the coffee I drank last night. And it started to pour at 3 o'clock this morning. So I woke up to very wet conditions. And about 9 o'clock I went over to the camp store, took my sleeping bag, which got wet last night, and just from the condensation in the tent, that's how bad it rained, and some socks, and I dried them off. They have a laundry room here, a nice one, and I got a shower. It's supposed to rain today again, so I decided that I was going to just stay here one more day. My options were to hike 5.7 miles to the next shelter, which would be muddy and dank and probably full, or hike 15 miles today to the shelter after that. And I didn't want to do that. Tomorrow and the rest of the week it's supposed to be sunny, so I'm going to stay here tonight. Another $15. Get a couple more beers. I may even have a fire tonight. They sell firewood, it's not expensive. And enjoy this. I want to be in Harper's Ferry by the end of the month. I've got 10 days. I think I can do that. I'm going to enjoy the day, go grab some more wet things, dry them out, have a nice lunch, get some firewood, maybe have a fire, and enjoy this beautiful campground. All the campsites here are $15. They have no cabins here. Each campsite here has a fire pit, a picnic table, and all the sites are grass, no mud. Prices are not bad, but the camp store is extremely stocked with things that we need as hikers. So I recommend that you stay here if you can. The trail goes around the campground, and there's a wayside about 1.5 miles from here. It has a sit-down grill. Good morning, everybody. This is Highlander58 on the AT. It's Tuesday, May 24th, and guess what? It's not raining. The sun is out, and they're expecting a high today of 78, and high 70s for the next 3 days, with no rain or a little chance of rain. I had a little fire last night, and I had some neighbors who were camping next to me, Diesel and Cold Snap from Massachusetts. I've went into them and become friends with them over the last month and a half. We actually camped right next to each other in the Smokies in the snow. I just left the campground, the camp store. I had a cup of coffee, said goodbye to Jill, who was an employee there, very nice lady. Can't say too many nice things about the staff at this campground. Very hiker friendly people. And I'm now heading to the Loft Mountain Wayside, which is about 1.8 miles. And I'm going to have breakfast with Diesel and Cold Snap. They're going to leave in a little while. They went yesterday, so they've already hiked the trail there, so they're going to take the road. They're going to yellow blaze it down the skyline to there, and I'll meet them there. So I'm actually on the trail again, and feeling good. Had a good night's sleep. I'm warm, and this is so nice. It's amazing how we take these things for granted, but I am so over the rain. I know it's going to rain again, but hopefully not for 20 days. I'm looking forward to today's hike. I have a couple of options. I can go 7 miles to a shelter, I can go 15 miles to a shelter, or I can go 24 miles to the next campground. I think it's Big Meadows, I'm not sure. But in any case, I may hike with Diesel and Cold Snap for a little while and see how far they go. They're going to probably do at least 15 today. This is their second time doing the AT, so they're very familiar with many areas and many aspects of the trail. It's still a little muddy, but nothing like it's been. And I imagine by the end of the day, it's going to be warm, somewhat humid, but I'll take it. I'll take it any day. I can handle the humidity. Being from Florida, we usually have about 100% all the time. And the temperatures don't bother me. I'll just put on shorts and a tank top and sunscreen and drink a lot of water and be on my merry way. It truly is a great day on the AT, and I am overjoyed that I'm not hiking in the rain. Hey everybody, this is Highlander58 on the AT. Speaking to you from the Big Meadows Lodge in Shenandoah National Park. I just arrived with Diesel and Cold Snap. We decided to get a room for the night. We actually hiked almost 20 miles to get here today to get a room. The campground is quite crowded right now. There's a lot of local folk there. Got to go back a little bit to bring you all up to speed. What kind of got us here? As you know, I left Loft Mountain Campground yesterday morning, and I met Diesel and Cold Snap at the Wayside, and we had breakfast. And these waysides are pretty much the same throughout the Shenandoah National Park. They all look the same. Some are larger than others, and they serve pretty much the same kind of food. We had breakfast, pancakes, eggs, sausage, coffee, and we started hiking. And we decided while we were eating breakfast it'd be nice to stay at either this campground or the lodge. And after some research, we opted on the lodge, especially since the campground is very crowded. There was a lot of people at the wayside here. I was very, very busy. So we started hiking. We had a beautiful day. I mean, sunshine, finally. We hiked about 17 miles, past the last shelter before dark, and we were gonna just stealth camp. And we couldn't find a place. So we found this kind of a indentation off the trail. We checked it out. We could have stayed there, but it looked very, very rough. And it was in the area we saw bears. So interestingly, yesterday we encountered 4 bears. 4. Today we encountered 2. So we decided to hike another 1.5 miles down to Virginia 33, where it intersects with the Skyline Drive. We were looking around and could find nothing to camp in. It was getting dark. This is about 7:30. Diesel went up on the hill, the median, between the highways. There's a ramp, and he went up there on this hill, and he started waving and called us up there. And we went up there, and there's this beautifully mowed median surrounded by high brush and trees. You could still see the highway on both sides and hear the cars. There's flowers, and we decided to camp. We call it the Grassy Knoll. And so we sat down on the ground against our packs, and Diesel broke out 2 boxes of wine, little boxes of wine that he had been carrying since he left Loft Mountain Camp Store. So we had a couple of cups of wine and watched the sun go down, and then we broke out the tent, set them up, had a meal, and we went to bed. We got up at about 5:30. We were on the trail at 7 o'clock. We hiked all the way from Virginia 33 to the lodge, the wayside first, because we all wanted one of those famous blackberry milkshakes, and it was well worth 17 miles. After we had our shake, we hiked another mile, hiked to the lodge, and we checked in. And this is my view. All these campgrounds are run by the government, and they have a vendor called Delaware North, and they keep these places very neat and clean. It was difficult to film today because we were kind of moving fast. I couldn't photograph or film any of the bears we saw because they ran across in front of us, and by the time I got my camera out, they were bolting up either up the hill or down the hill. And we saw a sow, a mother bear, a cub, and 4 yearlings. And there's a lot, and that's in 2 days. There's a lot of bears up here. They were scared of us. I started banging on my trekking poles, and they just hauled butt. So no problem with the bears. I did get an update from Nomad. Right now it doesn't look really good. Here's a picture of what he sent me. He's got his foot in some kind of crazy it looks like some kind of a torture device, but it's it immobilizes his entire leg. And he said he's going to a specialist, so I've got a feeling he may not be back. And I'm disappointed, and I'm sad because we become very good friends the last month and a half. And he's a great guy. He's funny, and I hope that he gets back out here, but I'm not counting on it. He's got an ACL problem, so you know what that means. That means he could be off the trail. We're going to check out tomorrow after breakfast. Not sure what time. Depends on how far we want to go. So we are at mile 923.8, and I think we're over halfway through Shenandoah National Park. I'm not sure. I'll let you know later, but those blackberry milkshakes are to die for. I'll tell you, it was worth walking 900 miles just to get that. So I'm going to go down and have some food in an adult beverage. Okay, I'm out. I'm going to go have some beer, and I will check back with you all very soon.